Good morning, children. Today I am going to explain Unit 1, Reading B, a poem, The Duck and the Kangaroo. It is a very interesting poem. First, about the author, about the poet. Edward Leo, born on 12th May 1812 and passed away on 29th January 1888, was a British artist, illustrator, author and poet, renowned today primarily for his literary nonsense in poetry and prose. In his childhood, he suffered from ill health. After a long decline in health, he died of heart disease. His principal areas of work as an artist were threefold: as a draftsman, employed to illustrate birds and animals, making colored drawings during his journeys. As an author, Leo is principally known for his popular nonsense works rather than as a travel writer. These show a great ability to use with relish the sound of real and invented English words. The poem, The Duck and the Kangaroo, is a poem with a touch of light humor. This is about the poet. Next, important words, difficult words. Long, here it is used as verb. Want, wish very much. Hop, it is also verb. Move by jumping. Ride, it is a noun, a short journey. The D and the jelly bow lee, it is also noun. Wonderful places imagined by the poet. Reflection, thought or careful thought, it is also noun. Reflect verb, reflect, reflected, reflected. Reflection, noun. Bold, it is adjective. Here it is frank, bold means frank. Bold, one meaning is there, courage. Boldly, courageously. Rheumatis, it is a noun, a disease that makes the muscles and joints painful. Worsted socks, here are silent. Worsted socks means woolen socks. Web feet, it is a noun. Feet that have toes connected by membrane with the skin. Membrane means skin. Cloak, a coat that protects from cold. These are the difficult words you have to learn. That is the introduction of the poem. The main characters in this poem is a duck which is living in a small pond in a forest, and the kangaroo. It is also an animal which runs very fast. It is seen mainly in Australia. Kangaroo. The duck and the kangaroo. Kangaroo is seen mainly in Australia. So, this entire poem is a conversation between this small duck and the kangaroo. But you should not question yourself that how can animals talk, how can animals converse. It is just imagination. You should not question like that. Here, the conversation is written in the poetry style. Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bow in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you," said the duck to the kangaroo. Said the duck to the kangaroo. It is poetic order. If you keep it Prose order, the duck said to the kangaroo. In this poem, the duck is talking to or talking with the kangaroo. Good gracious means wonderful, my dear friend kangaroo. Why and what is wonderful? How you hop, you jump very fast and very long distance. It is really wonderful. Where do you jump? Over the fields and the water too. Over the green fields and over the water also, you can jump very fast. That is really wonderful. As if you never would stop. When you are jumping like this, when you are hopping like this, I feel that you never stop. This kind of jumping, lifelong, continuously, you do this. I think like that. But what about my life? My life is bow in this nasty pond. Nasty pond means a small water pond. In this small water pond, I have to stay day and night. I can't come out, but because of that, I think my life is very bow. No entertainment, no change at all. In this dirty water, in this dirty pond, I have to stay. And I long to go. Here, long means not length. Long means strong wish. I have a strong wish. What is that strong wish? To go out in the world beyond. Just like you, I have to cross the boundaries of this world. I have to go around. I have to enjoy by looking all the important places and wonderful things in the nature. I wish I could stop, I could hop like you. What the meaning I wish I could hop like you means? Actually, I wanted to jump like you, but I cannot. That is the meaning. Actually, I wanted or I want to jump like you, to run like you, but I can't. That's the meaning of I wish I could hop like you. Said the duck to the kangaroo. So these words were spoken by the duck. So in the first poem, the duck explained its life and explained how kangaroo is enjoying. In the second poem, please give me a ride on your back. This is also spoken by the duck. The duck is requesting the kangaroo, please give me a ride on your back. Ride means a small journey. I want to sit on your back and I want to go along with you to enjoy the nature beauty. Said the duck to the kangaroo, I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack. My dear friend, don't worry about my behavior. I will sit quiet without making any noise. I sit very quiet on your back. Except sometimes I simply make some sounds, natural sounds. That's my natural quality. Quack. This is the sound of a duck. The whole of the long day through, entire day, I don't make noise. Except sometimes when making the sounds quack. And we go to the D and jelly bowly. D and the jelly bowly means imagine the things, wonderful places imagined by the poet. Wonderful places imagined by the poet. Here the duck wanted to enjoy the nature beauty and wonderful places on the earth by sitting and by going along with the kangaroo. We have to go and enjoy the nature beauty by sitting on your back, over the land and over the sea. What are the important places? What are the beautiful places on the earth, on the land and on the water also? I want to enjoy by coming along with you. Please take me a ride. Oh, do. It is a request. Oh, my dear friend kangaroo, please help me. Please allow me to sit on your back. Please take me to go around this earth. Said the duck to the kangaroo. In the second poem also, it is about the request of duck. Third poem, said the kangaroo to the duck. In this poem, the kangaroo is talking to duck. This requires some little reflection. Okay, my dear friend, duck, Okay, your wish is most reasonable, but you have to think about something about this journey. You have to think something about this journey before we take up this journey. Perhaps on the whole, it might bring me luck. Perhaps on the whole, it might bring me luck. And there seems but one objection. Okay, I am also lucky to take you around the earth, but there seems but one objection. But one objection. Only I have one doubt. Otherwise, I have no problem at all to take you on my back. But one problem, one objection. What is that? Which is, if you will let me speak so bold. I want to express my doubt or objection frankly. Don't mind. Don't bother about this. You need not worry. But frankly, I want to explain one doubt, one objection. What is that? Your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold. The main problem is your feet are unpleasantly, unbearably, that means not so pleasant. They are very, very cold because you have been living 24 hours in that water. I can't bear such kind of cool things, cool touch, and would probably give me the rheumatism, said the tiger. Because of that coolness, because of that cool touching, I may get a disease called rheumatism. Rheumatism means a disease that makes the muscles and joints painful. Muscles and joints may pain me. I may get such kind of disease. That is my objection. That is my worry. Otherwise, I have no objection. I have no doubt about taking you. This is told by the kangaroo. Next, said the duck. Now, in this poem, duck is answering. Duck is trying to clarify the doubt of kangaroo. Said the duck, as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely. And I thought 4 pairs of worsted socks which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep it out the cold, I have bought a cloak. And every day a cigar I will smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. Okay, my dear friend, I am ready to clarify, to remove your doubts, because as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely. Simply, I think that when I sit on a rock, I simply feel heat. And I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks. So, to avoid that cool touching, I bought some worsted socks, woolen socks, to cover my feet. So you need not worry about my cold feet, which fit my bamboo feet neatly. So those socks are suitable, most suitable to cover my feet, web feet. You need not worry about that. And to keep out the cold, I have bought a cloak. I have bought one cloak, one coat also, to avoid that cold. So you need not worry about that also. And every day a cigar, I will smoke a cigar to create warmness, to create heat. I decided to smoke one cigar. Cigar means Telugu chutta. All to follow my own dear true love of kangaroo. Oh, because of my love and affection towards you, because I understood your problems, that's why I have taken these precautions. So you need not worry about my web feet, about my cool body. Like that, duck clarified the doubts of a kangaroo. Said the kangaroo, okay, I am ready. Afterwards, the kangaroo also answered, okay, my dear friend, duck, if you do all these precautions, if you take all these precautions, I am ready to take you. All in the moonlight play pale. During night time I will take you when there is full moonlight. But to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady. But you have to take some more precautions. When you sat on my back, you should not move this side and that side. You have to maintain your balance. You must sit steady without any movement. Otherwise, you may fall down. Very dangerous thing. And quite at the end of my tail, where have you to sit? At the end of my tail, you have to sit quietly without making any noise. So away they went with a hop and a bow. Afterwards, both of them decided to go around the earth. Then they took up the journey. And they hopped the whole world 3 times round. The entire area was covered 3 times. Duck felt very happy. And who so happy? Who? So in this journey, who would be the most happiest? Whether the duck or kangaroo? As the duck and the kangaroo. So according to your opinion, which will be most happy? Which is the happiest among between these two? The duck is the happiest among the between the two, because kangaroo goes around every day and it enjoys every day the nature beauty. For kangaroo, it is as usual, but especially for the duck, it is a very special journey. It has been longing for a long time. I have to go around there like kangaroo. I have to enjoy. My life has become bored in this nasty pond. Who will take me out? Like that, it was thinking for a long time. And now, her wish was fulfilled by its friend kangaroo. So, the duck is the happiest between these two. So, this is the summary of this poem. So, after reading this poem repeatedly, you have to read the glossary repeatedly, because the meanings are very important. If you know the meanings, you can understand the poem easily and you can write answers in your own words. For that purpose, you must improve your vocabulary, not only from textbook, and make it a habit of referring dictionary every day. By referring dictionary every day, automatically you can improve your word power, vocabulary. Vocabulary is most important for your speaking ability or for your understanding ability. If you make it a practice of referring dictionary every day, it will be very useful and it will improve your word power. So by understanding this poem, you can answer any question from this poem in your own words. No need of copying from textbook. And one more thing, regarding poems, remembering the summary is very important, not only poems, for prose also, according to the latest pattern of question papers. Regular reading of textbook is very important. Understand the lesson or poem, and you have to remember the summary. That is most important. You read not by heart anything. No question of by heart neither. It was outdated. So, regarding poems, you have to remember one thing. According to latest pattern of question paper, section A, section B, section C. 3 sections are there. Section A, complete comprehension. Section B, grammar. And in section A, one more thing. Sometimes one poem is given for 5 marks. You have to read the poem and answer the following questions. For that also, repeated reading of poem very important. And after reading poem 2 or 3 times, you have to understand the summary. No need of word-to-word meaning. Don't worry about it. Word-to-word meaning, you need not to worry about it. You have to remember, you have to understand the summary briefly If you understand the summary briefly, you can easily answer the following questions. 3 multiples, 2 questions, 5 marks. That's very, very important. Understanding is very important. That's why it is titled comprehension. Comprehension means read and understand. Comprehension means read and understand. These two things are very important regarding poems. Next one, in section B, complete grammar, paper 1, paper 2. Paper 1, completely from textbook, section B. Paper 2, complete out of textbook. Any paragraph may be given, any question may be given grammatically. No question are from textbook, completely out of textbook. So, for paper 2, you need not touch textbook. You need not touch textbook. For paper 1, you have to read the textbook thoroughly. Paper 2, you need not open textbook, you need not go through the textbook. Complete general. For that purpose, reading and understanding ability is most important for every student. Section C, complete own writing, discourses. Major discourses, 10 marks question. Choice is there. Minor discourses, 5 marks, no choice. In major discourses, choreography is there for 10 marks. Choreography, especially regarding poems. They give one poem, one sonnet. Sonnet means 40 lines, one lengthy poem. Otherwise, 3 or 4 poems separately. Stanza 1, stanza 2, stanza 3, stanza 4. Like that also they may be. So the main thing about these choreographies, read those stanzas thoroughly, 2 or 3 times, or if necessary 4th time also you have to read. Try to understand the summary of each and every stanza. Summary briefly. They may ask to prepare choreography for this poem. Here choreography means not dancing. In cinema field, choreography means dance. Choreography director, dance director. Here poem it is not like that. 10 marks question, choice also may be there. Most of the students avoid choreography because they are simply afraid of choreography. That is the main reason. But actually, it is very, very easy if you understand the poem. To prepare a choreography, to write a choreography is very, very easy. So, first reading is most important for choreography. After reading, try to understand the summary. Try to find out what are the characters. Try to find out where that scene is going on. Is there any conversation between those characters or among those characters? These things you have to find out. So after reading it, after understanding it, you have to divide that choreography into 4 particular topics. First one is location, next to settings, next to characters, next to conversation, next to if you are able to write main theme of the poem. Before that, you can create one suitable title. First suitable title. Next location. After reading stanza wise, where the first stanza happened, occurred. Location, whether it is in a forest, whether it is a building, or whether it is in a garden, or like that, you have to find out the location. Keep adding location. Write something about that location. 5 or 6 sentences. About the trees, the birds, all, everything in that location. Next one, characters. Read that person thoroughly and find out whether there are any characters. So, after finding that characters, you can mention what are the characters and their description. You have to write. That is the second heading, characters. Sorry, characters. First location, next settings. Location plus settings. Settings means you want to create a garden scene. For that purpose, what are the things you need? So, to create such kind of scene, you have to use some things. They are called settings to create a bungalow scene, to create a palace, like that. They are called settings. So, what are the things you need to create such kind of a setting, location? Next one, characters. First one, location. Next one, settings. Next one, characters. Are there any characters in those poems or in that sonnet? Find out. Write something about those characters based on the poem. Afterwards, conversation or summary. If conversation is not there between the characters, you can write a summary of the four stanzas or sonnet. If there are characters and the conversation also there, you can write conversation. What conversation is going on among those characters in this poem? You can write about that conversation. That is the fourth one. Next, last one, theme of the poem. What is the main aim of the poet? It may be different from different persons. Poet may think something, reader may not find out what is thought by, what the poet is thinking. We may not understand. We may understand some more thing, some other thing. So that is not a standard answer. One student may write one theme, other student may write some other thing. Poet's theme is maybe different. So that's why, according to your understanding, you can write main theme of the poem, whether it is about friendship, whether it is about environment, about the good relations, whatever it may be. So that is the main theme. This is the basic or fundamentals to prepare a choreography. It is for 10 marks. If you feel it difficult, you can select choice. Choice also may be there. Choice also is there. You can do anyone. 10 marks question, you must be very, very careful. That is about poem. This is the end of the poem, The Duck and the Kangaroo.